Welcome, passengers. Mega Sim, how are you doing? Hopefully you are doing well. Roadmap Day, June update. Before we start, just wanted to mention something. I'm in the process of starting a new channel. And that channel is going to be all the train journeys that I will be doing. Now, there are some that I haven't been able to move from Mega Sim over, so they're going to stay on Mega Sim, but any new ones, which will be starting soon, I've got a few videos ready and raring to go. Check out at Train Real World. That's at Train Real World on YouTube. Subscribe, and soon our Train Real World videos will start on that channel. Oh yes, it's going to be amazing. And the first video that I'm going to be doing is on an HST. A HST and an HST. It'll be AN because H is starts with a vowel phonetically, so it'll be AN and an HST. Anyway, let's go for the June roadmap update. Apologies for the lateness. I was at home. I was in the middle of doing some electrics. I've created a new light for the outside and it looks amazing. Anyway, too long, didn't read. Quick summary for those who don't want to go through the whole article. There are more details on all these points within the roadmap. A closer look at Glossop line, including digging into the all-new scenario where we can operate as a guard and its timetable. An update on the Thameslink Class 700, including timetable information. An update on the Trenton timetable improvements. Updates from Just Trains on their unannounced route. An update on upcoming patches, Link, Rhine-Strecker, Midland Mainline, Bremen, Oldenburg and Rivet Games content which are due tomorrow. And then inside development, how they make scenarios with some scenarios that didn't make it. And we've got a nice picture there showing us the Dovetail releases, the partner program releases, the special projects team and the core features. So, where has this month gone? May has flown by, a sizable Steam core update, and the release of Peak Forest, Ambergate to Chinley and Buxton, which I still haven't done yet. I've not driven it yet. I've not gone in it. I think I've been on it once, just to see Ambergate, and maybe reversed into Buxton, but that was in a beta thing. I've not been on it. But it's had favourable feedback. I've been too busy. I'm really sorry. They've also just given away LGV Méditerranée free for a week. That was good. Hopefully you all got that and got in there trying that content. And you know, you've got French high speed there. You've also got the link with Southeastern high speed where you can use the CGV on there as well. Bon appetit. This month there's going to be a deeper dive into the upcoming Glossop line, including details from the timetable and some unique work on the scenarios. And if that's not enough, they'll also have an alternative in-depth look at the upcoming Thameslink Class 700 with all new screenshots. Further update for NEC New York to Trenton timetable and details on upcoming patches. So, in the partner program corner, both Just Trains and Skyhook Games will provide an update on their ongoing projects. Inside development as well, and follow up a new cohort of beta testers in the coming weeks. Nice. Ready to go? Let's go. Glossop line, Manchester to Hadfield and Glossop. This fully complete and self-contained route to release towards the back end of June, so later this month, bringing with it the first appearance of Manchester Piccadilly Station and some really interesting services and scenarios. If you haven't already checked it out, check May's roadmap for the route map and some introductory information. With this route, they've tried to get creative with the scenarios and the Glossop line, so you can play as a guard. Liam and Cameron, designers on the gameplay team. Find out more about it. There's also information about the Glossop timetable below. If you'd like to find out more generally about how they make scenarios, as well as some that didn't make the cut, then head to the inside developer section. Anyway, tell us more about this guard scenario. What will the player do? Well, there we go. There's a signal buzzer. Press signal buzzer twice. Signal to the driver. Liam, the player will have a variety of guard-related tasks in the scenario, both on the train and at stations, but the focus is on operating the doors at stations, checking the train is safe to depart, and inspecting passenger tickets between inspecting passenger tickets. Oh, yes. Something brand new to Train Sim World. When a player interacts with passengers in the scenario, they'll be shown the date and the upcoming destinations of the train they are working on, along with the passenger's ticket. It's up to the player to compare the information of the passenger's ticket with the current service. The player will be given the option to tell the passenger the ticket is valid or invalid, with an invalid ticket resulting in the passenger being removed from the train at the next stop. The player will earn points by correctly deciding the ticket's validity, along with completing other guard actions. So why did they choose this route? So Liam said they chose this route for the guard scenario due to the combination of having a train with guard controls and a route with lots of passenger stops close together. The guard scenario is something that they've been wanting to add for a while, but it never felt right to do on the previous routes. They needed a train with a full set of guard controls on a route with passenger stops close enough together that the player would not be spending most of the scenario waiting for the train to reach its next destination. Well, I think a good one for that would be Cathcart Circle. Oh yeah, let's have a look. Down next to the driver. Nice. Right, so what tech content had to be created specifically and uniquely for the scenario? Tech-wise, the 323 already had the guard controls needed for this, so that was a big help, as it allowed them to go straight into prototyping the actions of the guard. The new tech needed was a way to interact with the passengers themselves and inspect tickets. Passenger interaction was something that they'd worked on previously with the creation of the rail fans, but they were still for use at stations only. They had to create a way for these rail fans to board, ride and depart a train, along with giving each rail fan a train ticket, another new piece of tech. These tickets are randomly generated to match the train service that the rail fan is riding, with some tickets randomly selecting an invalid travel date or destination to create an invalid ticket for the player to check. Check passengers' tickets before the train reaches the next stop. Talk to, lovely. So what was the process undertaking? It started with being a simple guard scenario made as a proof of concept, where the player would ride at the back of a class 323 and operate the doors for the driver. Once the basics were in, they looked at what else a guard could do, both on the train and at the station. So they were in contact with real guards who operate the 323s, who were very helpful with their feedback of what was currently in the scenario, along with things that were missing, and suggestions on how to make the scenario more accurate to real life. Ticket inspection was obviously the one that was missing from the scenario, and something that they would need to make the player feel like an actual guard. The ticket inspection gameplay started as simple graphic of good bad ticket and grew to sort of a mini game where the player would have to compare multiple bits of information to the ticket and decide on its validity. It was at this point that they could see the scenario would be fun for players wanting to play as a guard. It was just a matter of polishing up the gameplay and adding some extra tasks to help really flesh out the scenario. So as we can see here, we've got an off-peak return. Northern. You can see like the Northern logo in the back. Looks like a Mega Sim logo, but anyway, Northern logo. Today's date, 30th of October 2023. Next stops, Gorton, Ashbury's, Ardwick and Manchester Piccadilly. And as you can see, this is valid for one journey from Guidebridge to Manchester Piccadilly, and it looks like it's okay. So that's where you would then go, here's my ticket, perfect, thank you, or sorry, this isn't a valid ticket. Any other interesting scenarios players can look forward to? Well, there are some great scenarios for this route, which include some fun new things players haven't seen before in scenarios, such as burst pipes flooding the tracks, and a photo competition where players get a camera to use. But then, Wait a minute. We've done the photo competition. That was on... What's the American one? The circle. Anyway, you all know what I'm talking about. The freight one where you take a photo. But that's not new. Anyway, Glossop line timetable information. Quick summary of what we can expect from the timetable at this stage. Please bear in mind this is still being developed with more information available in the future. So the timetable for Manchester to Glossop runs on a 323 at 2 trains per hour. Trains typically run from Manchester to Glossop, then turning back to complete the run to Hadfield. Timings can be quite tight at stations, and especially for both Glossop and Hadfield with just 3 minutes between arriving and departing. These tight timings are what allows the route to just about manage the 2 train per hour frequency. Even with the quick turnaround, the next train for Hadfield must often wait until the train ahead has left Dinting. There are some more intricate details about this route, such as signal GB867, which protects Hyde North Junction, which will always be red until the Manchester-bound train is ready to depart Newton. This also means that the approach signal for Newton, GB861, will never display a green aspect. Northern run 323s on a few other lines, such as both lines to Crewe, Stoke-on-Trent and Liverpool-Lime Street to Manchester Airport. As for layers, it is a little too early to talk about these just yet, but for now, the EMT 158 will be making an appearance at Manchester for their hourly Liverpool-Lime Street to Norwich services. It will be mainly AI, but also have one playable service, an empty coach stop movement in the early hours to Liverpool that runs via Ashbury's. Yeah, look at that 158. Choo-choo! And look, a freight train. Why did I say choo-choo? A freight train. Pricing! The Glossop line will be available for a slightly different price than usual of £19.99, $24.99 or €24.99. Because it is a smaller route, but that is good. That is good. So that's cool. So it looks like we're going to have freight. Definitely have freight. 158, 323, 2 trains per hour. And the guard scenario, that is going to be epic. Anyway, let's go to the next part. Thameslink Class 700. So, work on the Class 700 continues in earnest, and they have some more screenshots for us. As well as bringing the resident Class 700 enthusiast, James, in to give a slightly alternative update on what you can expect. James's unhinged update on the 700. You want me to talk about the Class 700? Now, how long have we got? Right, strap in. Anyway, the teams have been busy working on all aspects of the Class 700, slowly bringing it together into a fantastic EMU, which they can't wait for us all to experience. Whilst they're still quite far off from release, they thought it would be good to share some of the latest progress, James's favourite details, plus some other fun bits. Look at that, first class. Oh, there's no display there. Look, there's no display at the top. Okay. But yeah, those seats look good, don't they? Nice. Anyway, for the first time, behold the interior. All the final furniture has gone in place throughout the unit, including the first class tables and the infamous ironing board standard class. It's all there, raring to be used by Medway's finest locals. And of course, they cannot look at the interior without admiring the modern PIS screens. What? Not every single screen has been implemented, but destination, calling points and next stop schematics are a treat to behold. With each coach being open-ended gangway, you can experience the hypnotic sensation of watching the train go around the corners and S-bends. It almost makes you want to do a silly walk down the whole length of the train. Look! Look at that! Gillingham, Chatham, Rochester. I wonder what's there. Home of Dovetail Games. Anyway, love it! In the cab, the screens are coming to life. There's some more interactivity included, which is fun to play around with. Brightness, day and night mode, cab aircon, regen braking are all options that can be toggled with. Modern trains are state of the art in every right, and the Class 700 can even talk to you. Enjoy an in-depth conversations where every response is, "Driver, you have reset the DRA. Please check the signal." You'll understand what it means eventually. It's like Groot, sort of. I am Groot. I'm not going to ruin what happens in the film, so I am Groot. Yes, before the riots kicks off in a declassified first class, We've included both DC and AC functionality, whilst they don't have the northern end of the Thameslink network in Train World. So as long as we're happy to place the 700 on other routes, you can experience the different motor sounds and physics. They won't judge where we place it, honest. So even though this is going to be on Southeastern High Speed, which is DC only, third rail, well, for this train, they are giving us AC, which is good. So that could be something in the future, possibly. Look at that. It's good. Speaking of placing things, Daisy, who we might remember from the Birmingham Cross City content and live stream, one of the testers and training editor users, has flexed her creative muscles and working with the team has had all the Thameslink specific stopping boards made to be placed into the Southeastern High Speed route. Due to the way the timetable already works, whether the stop at locations match these is not guaranteed. Her main goal is to make each station between Dartford and Rainham look more appropriate for the arrival of the 700. So, if you're wondering what each of these boards mean, never fear, we've got it covered. RLU, this is the stopping board for the reduced length unit, an 8-car 700 that they are making. Oh yeah, they are making it, is the 700. FLU, this is the stopping board for the full length unit, the 12-car, which isn't included, and FLUs don't run the Rainham service. The boards are still present throughout Medway in reality for future proofing though. ALL, this is the stopping point for any Class 700 regardless of length. SDO, any of the above with SDO surrounding its border signifies selective door opening, i.e. you're supposed to stop here but some coaches will be hanging off the platform. T, this stands for the totem pole like shrine you will see below. A T board is a turnback board. This is the stopping point where the driver needs to change end. It ensures, for example, that when they move to the other cab they still have sight of the starting signal. Oh yeah, T. Nice. Wait a minute. That looks like the training centre. Anyway, the timetable, drifting over nicely to the next topic. The Class 700 will add a little over 80 services to the Southeastern High Speed, filling out the half-hourly all-stop services between Rainham and Dartford. This brings a regular service to Higham, which currently only has Southeastern services in the rush hour, and also means Rainham Platform 0 will be used throughout the day. There are also naturally some morning and night empty coach stop moves, enjoying running the 700 without having to worry about Kentish troublemakers. Now, why is the lights not there? Okay. Anyway, Luton, nice. Rainham, nice. I like it. Now, the keen modders among us have already been sneaky and found all the Class 700 services, but joke's on you, they knew and secretly hoped that you would find them. But what you won't find is everything else that they've added recently. One new addition, because people as known as James kept asking for them, that there is very few diesel rail tours, nicely complementing the already existing Jubilee tours. Once again, these are seasonal additions on the timetable. You'll only see them as AI during select months, but they've put a few different ones in loosely based on real-world reference. The Class 47 is back, with a pair of services which mimic the long-lost cross-country services which used to serve the Kent coast, giving you the 1099 and the 1S87 to run along the Chatham Main Line in the summer months. In TSW2, these similar services starting at Gravesend. However, given the addition of Dartford and how busy it is, squeezing anything else in there was going to make Joe cry. So now it joins the route at Rochester. Look, it's a Class 47. And then James made him cry anyway with the next edition. Being a Southern Region fan, he was always going to be a bit miffed if the Crompton didn't make an appearance. Thankfully, his pleas were heard, and we now have a couple of Class 33 excursions. Yay! The Kentish Crompton and the Medway Valley Crompton are a 6-partner and 2-partner respectively. Combining, they cover pretty much everything. Well, not HS1 obviously, but that would be awesome. Rail Tours planners, get on this please. Yeah, Rail Tour planners, it would be lovely to be on HS1, but remember it's not owned by British Rail, and the cost to be on there is extortionate. Anyway, look at that. One on the back. Some additional tweaks and AI services have also gone in. Most notably, they've adjusted how the forward and reverse of the Class 465 turnback procedures work at Strood in the morning and evening rush to be more prototypical. At the most eager request, a winter seasonal AI service now appears at Strood, inspired by last year's Medway Valley Pullman Rail Tour. There is also a seasonal static train going in. They're not telling us where, when, what stock. We'll just have to wait and see. The final note on the table for now, engineering works at Belle Isle Junction are coming to an end, so with the 66 out the way, they've put all the East Coast Mainline Thames Link AI. Nice. Yes. Love it. Lastly, because we don't have all day, my video is already 20 minutes already. Scenario fans rejoice as the gameplay team have gone to town and back. A bumper collection of 7 scenarios are to be included. Yes, 7! Mega Desiro City action awaits, including some pretty funky situations. They'll bring more details, including how the stations look with their new designs, in due course. As a final note, as this has not been tested yet, the above is subject to change. And whilst they endeavour to ensure these editions are available for all players, they will let players know if some timetable editions will be Gen 9 only. German Loco. Work is continuing on the German Loco. We'll update further when we have more information. NEC New York to Trenton updated timetable. Do you know what? You can read that yourself. Read it yourself. Read it yourself. Read it yourself. Freight. Lovely. Read it yourself. Read it. Oh, look. More freight. Read it yourself. Read it. Long Island Railroad layer. Okay. The good news, the Long Island Railroad layer is in. It's in the works. Better than it should be. This layer adds a whopping over 500 LIRR services to New York Penn. Non-peak trains run using the North Tunnels exclusively, and peak trains will use both the North and South Tunnels. Long Island Railroad trains can be seen at New York Penn as far down as track 13 with LIRR, Amtrak and NJT. New York Penn during peak hours and almost non-stop with many simultaneous arrivals and departures with Long Island Railroad. Peak trains will also run every 3 minutes in each direction, so there is plenty of activity passing SSY now. Nice! Okay, so it will have the M7, but there is a 20% chance that there will be the M3 if you have the M3 DLC. Okay? The Long Island Railroad route is required for all these services, okay? New York Penn is looking a lot busier now. Lovely. Lovely. Oh, yeah, there's an M7 passing. Nice. Looks good. Right, so add-ons manager, fine. HST livery design and compatibility is going through testing now. Hope to release it later into June, alongside some improvements to Great Western Express. Ooh, I like the sound of that. I want to see what that's going to be. Partial improvement to the issue that needs to be tested for Baby Bullet services. Nice. Patch update. Here's a quick summary. May 9th. Upcoming. So tomorrow, Link Rheinstrecke, there's going to be some updates. Bremen Oldenburg, some updates. Midland Main Line, timetable expansion. There are now 89 HST services between Derby and Leicester. 20 Ivanhoe services between Leicester and Nottingham. Added ROG service from Derby to Leicester, 375 Blue service. Re-enabled the Toten HL Leicester aggregate freight service. The Class 66 rail tour to use the She Class 66 rather than the RHTT. So Southeastern High Speed, I think that would be. South High East. Passengers should no longer get stuck in the doorway. Updated Class 158 physics. Rain and snow will now wipe away using the wipers. Updated vehicle coupling and logic. Remodeled bridges across route. Numerous environment fixes and updates, including station updates and adding new Derby Roundhouse. Finally! I wanted to see the Derby Roundhouse, and they have done it. For tomorrow's patch, console players will not receive the additional freight services. This is known, and there will be a follow-up patch. So what is in here, where that star is, there are certain features that console players will not get tomorrow. They will get an updated patch of a patch soon. Rivet Games, very small quality updates. BR204 has added contact signal and walkie-talkies. Isle of Wight 483 improvements. A Rosaline, Snow Effects, West Cornwall Local, added sparks and snow kick up on the 150. Central Freights, Luzerne to Circe, rain particles on the windscreen, 1938 tube stock. Headlight improvements, added full guard panel functionality and added sparks. Peak Forest, a lot of stuff there. Patch, expected later, is the Nidatal Barn post-release patch and the HST livery designer functionality and GWE improvements. If I find out more about that, I will let you know. I want to know what sort of improvements we are getting. Right, updates from the partner developers. Skyhook Games. The post-release middle and mainline patch comes ever closer, so they chat to Jane, Skyhook's Chief Technical Officer, CTO, about the progress and what you can expect from the update. So, Skyhook really wants to express their appreciation and thanks for everyone who's provided feedback from middle and mainline. They have been delighted with the response to the route and all the enthusiasm in sharing ideas and feedback with them. The patch update is now preparing for release, and in addition to addressing issues, they have also added as many requested features as they're able to in the first patch. This includes a wholly revised timetable, with close to twice as many playable services across the MML network. They've also added some freight services for everyone to enjoy, although please note, for the time being, they are only on PC. Soon for console. Additionally, they've added a wide range of bespoke trackside assets to bring the route closer to the real world. This includes everything from custom bridges along the route to iconic buildings such as the Derby Roundhouse and many others. Station buildings have also received updates for enhanced detail and realism, from canopies to platform clutter. So where's Roundhouse? Yeah, I can see Roundhouse there, but it's round the back as well. Okay. That looks good, but it's round the back that I really like. But yeah, no, like it, don't like this. There aren't bus stops there. This is parking. Drop off parking. Anyway, traction is a significant update too, with improvements to both the HST and the 158. The Class 158 is already becoming a firm favourite with the community, so they've put an significant effort with professional engineers and drivers to add further realism. Overall, there have been over 40 additions and tweaks to the 158, bringing exacting standards to the simulation. In addition to new content and features, they have addressed over 100 reported issues, from signalling to timetable and traction fixes, with the team spending a considerable amount of time across the entire product, addressing everything from minor details to rare crash bugs. They are really looking forward to us all driving this combination of patch and new content update and enjoying all the new features that they are confident will enhance our MML experience. Just Trains. This month, Alex from the... there is a thread. Look, click the thread, you'll see more. Alex from Just Trains gives us an update on the progress of their route's development, and we have our first work in progress screenshot. Where is... What's that? Is that a train? Where is this? The Just Trains team continues working hard on the first Train Sim World product. The route building team have completed 30 miles of highly detailed and very immersive scenery. It has really been a pleasure to create. The 3D artists continue to create a huge array of assets to populate the route from the minor and major stations. Fantastic looking period signal boxes, road vehicles and clutter. But in saying that clutter is a bit of a generic, dull word that does not really convey the quality and passion that is going into all aspects of this product. As regards the vehicles that will be in the route, these are all coming along brilliantly, ranging from cars to vans to construction vehicles to our rail vehicle, although, of course, creating these can be a bit more of a caper sometimes. The aim with this product is to recreate the days of British Rail with a focus on a busy and varied timetable, providing an immersive experience, with a full timetable featuring passenger, parcels, freight and shunting operations. When driving the route, you'll find that the timetable changes significantly depending on what season you're driving in, thus providing a wealth of possibilities. Along this, use of layers, which will interact with other add-ons that you own, which will mean that you will never be certain on what might turn up, just like the good old days of BR. So, Rivet Games. As alluded in the patch, there will be an update from Rivet Games that touches some of the older Train Sim World content, which includes that. And that will come in tomorrow. Inside development, making scenarios. Now, I'm at 30 minutes, so I think I will leave that for you to read, because that is nice and long. That's East Coast Way. Ooh, look. Nice. Anyway, I will let you read that, just so you know. But I think this is going to be amazing. We've got some good stuff coming up this month. We've got the Class 700. We've got Glossop coming soon. I'm saying this month. You know what I mean? Coming up. So that'll be really good to see that. What one is it? Is it the Class 700 or is it Glossop that's coming? There it is. Glossop is end of June. And what's this one? No, there is no date. Still quite far from release. Okay. I got confused there. So yeah, June will be Glossop. We don't know on Thames Link Class 700 yet. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos from the Mega Sim. As I've said already, subscribe to the new channel, Train Real World. You know how to spell it, at Train Real World. So youtube.com/@Train Real World. And sign up, subscribe, and sit patiently wait for our video, which will be on the HSC. Thank you, everyone. We will see you on the next video. This is Mega Sim out of here. See you soon, guys. Bye.